So first question from me is, what previous leadership roles have you been involved in that will help you in this position? Which positions or experiences have transferable skills that will help you in this position, which is of Honors Lounge Coordinator. Alex, go first.
Okay. So I'm a freshman, so I have to go off of a lot of my high school previous experience, but I was in student government in high school. My main focus in student government was actually in publicity, so I had to do a lot with working with the posters, publicizing events, making them look good, presentable, and clean and nice for the public. So I feel like that can really apply to lounge, keeping things nice, clean, presentable, just for the honors students in general. I was also a link crew leader, so I had to work with people, work with the incoming freshmen, so I have good teamwork and communication skills, so I feel like I can be approachable if people have problems with the lounge or things they want to change or add. I'm approachable, open to new ideas. Right now I'm on the community service subcommittee for working with Sahar. So I'm slowly getting involved in honors, starting to work, get experience on the committee, just learning through her steps and advice and everything. And then right now I'm in the process of applying to be a peer advisor for next semester. I'm in my second round of interviewing, so just trying to get involved, and I like people, so I think it'd be a fun job. And that's it.
I'm ready to go.
Same question, you want me to repeat it?
Yes, please.
So what previous leadership roles have you been involved in that will help you in this position? What transferable skills from those positions will help you in this position?
Okay, most of my stuff isn't student government oriented academically. There wasn't a whole lot available before now, so most of my stuff comes from work experience, where I've worked for companies like Costco, Jesuit High School, and what I did there is I led, for Jesuit, I was part of the IT committee, which meant I fixed things, and I fixed a lot of things. I understand how to prioritize what needs to be fixed first and what can wait. I am also well aware of how to get people to come together. One of the things I had to do was I had to educate people about how, a little bit about preventive maintenance, but also just kind of basic things that matter to whatever I happen to be doing. Costco let me figure out how to actually function as a member of a team. For a huge big box store like that, it's very difficult to do anything on your own. So being able to bring over those, not necessarily, solo skills, but being able to work with a team, I think is very important when you're working within a committee.
Yeah, we can start with Alex. My question would be, if you are elected to this position, what would be your goals to complete over the summer?
To complete over the summer? A big thing I want to do is really just clean and organize the space first, I think, over summer while the students aren't here. Just get it nice and presentable so it is a easy workspace for people to come and study. I know for me, like, when there's a lot of clutter, it's hard to think. So just keeping it clean and organized, presentable, and not too cluttered for the students to be able to think. So I'd really want to accomplish that over summer, mostly.
And Eric, same question?
I would want a lot of the same things done. I'd want a lot of stuff cleaned out. I'd want a lot of stuff fixed. That computer is broken. That's an easy fix. There's a lot of clutter around here. I'd probably also rearrange some things. We have the Honors Lounge board off in the corner next to the front door where everyone can see it. We have one over there in the corner that no one ever uses. That probably needs to get moved to a place that's a little more visible for everybody. So it'd be a lot of rearranging things and then getting rid of garbage. Stuff that doesn't need to be in here.
Hello? Sorry. Sure this is still going on. Hello.
Hello.
Cheers.
No. Hey, it's so fun. What kind of projects besides just cleaning, and you guys, you both said like cleaning and stuff, but I've seen a lot of want for like decoration and stuff in here. That takes money. And a lot of people forget that when they're like, oh, we need all this stuff in here. So how would you work to acquire, work to acquire those funds when there's still other things that we have to pay for, like events and stuff? Like, how would you sell that the lounge is, requires those funds so you can acquire them?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. I'll try my best to answer.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, first thing, I do know a really inexpensive thing is pictures, and it's really personal. So I think that can be a big aspect into decor and the lounge. It makes it feel more welcoming, homey in a sense, and they're not expensive. Everyone's taking pictures all the time on their phones, and getting them printed is not too expensive. But as far as, like you were saying, raising funds, like what my reasons would be for raising them for decorating, I think I would just really say that this is a space where it's not just a study area, but also a socializing area for honors, and really gets the separate cohorts bonded together. And decorating is important because it keeps people wanting to be in there, and it makes it more inviting, a space where people can socialize and meet and mingle with each other. So I think that's important when you want a solid program where everyone is able to stay connected. So I think it's important to make the space where they all meet welcoming and inviting.
Eric?
I agree with a lot of the points that Alex has made. This is a special area that's specially for honors that we get to use in order to socialize, mingle within the cohorts, and that needs to be something that's maintained. For fundraising stuff, we would actually probably have to do two things. We'd have to start by talking to whoever the fundraising chair for next year would going to be, and talk to them about perhaps doing honors lounge specific things. That can be a little difficult. I am willing to concede that. The other thing that can be done is asking honor students to come in and help. Not necessarily come in and help with the manual labor, but with like the pictures thing. We ask people to submit pictures. They're, as has been stated, they're easy, they're cheap, and it allows people to point at the wall and say, hey, look, that one's mine. It's things like that will allow the lounge to be appealing to everyone. Especially, I know that as a freshman, it's kind of intimidating to come up here and realize this is a special area just for me, and it's populated with people I don't know who are who are levels above me, and that can be intimidating. And part of the way to get those kind of people into the lounge is to offer them their ability to decorate it how they want to, to a certain extent.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So what current issues that you see in regards to the lounge currently that you would like to change during your term?
Well, Eric actually brought this up earlier, but I think the bulletin boards, I think using those more effectively would be a great way for people. I think it's a great idea to have a bulletin board where everyone knows where the information is. It's in a space where everyone can find it, and it's easy. But I think rearranging, making things just simple and easy to spot out and clear, and just, but also nice. Like, I know behind you, the community service sign over there, I know I made that with Sahar. Just things that are colorful, bright, fun, but it's simple, gets the information across. So I think I would like doing that. Just things that make it homey and, a good space and a good vibe and good feel.
Cool.
I would probably want a couple of things done. First, I would focus on fixing what's broken in here. There's a couple of things that just aren't working. There's the computers. There's that kind of thing that, there's the actual literally broken computer that is not currently functioning. And then a lot of them need just fixing. If I can get up, if I can input the user information, get up, go down the hall, use the bathroom, come back, and it's not loaded, there's a problem. I would also want, some of the stuff moved around the bulletin board that I pointed out in the back. No one sees that unless you're happening to be sitting over here. I'd also want a couple of the other things around in the lounge fixed. Perhaps we could have like a community I don't want to say garbage place, but a place for people to bring things that they don't use anymore, if that makes more sense. Because I know that I've come up to the lounge and managed to find myself without some random piece of office equipment, and you would expect to be able to find it up here. Even something like a ruler, it's just not available. And that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I also think that the kitchen can get overhauled a little bit. I'm not talking about, putting in a 6-stove oven, but it'd be pretty, yeah, Zach, I see that look.
Why not?
No. But the fridge in there is constantly full of stuff that probably needs to get thrown out. I know it's broken too. People leave stuff in there and it never goes away, which is a huge problem. And then there's just little things that can get added. There's no silverware in there. It'd be very easy to get a couple of bucks, from fundraising or donations, however we would put it together, and go down to like a thrift store and get a set of silverware for the lounge for people to use. It'd be a lot easier and, quite frankly, a lot nicer than some of the plastic, knives and forks that we keep washing and reusing.
Can I say one more point?
Yep.
Okay. I want to have kind of a place where people can give their suggestions to me if I was elected. I know being a freshman, like you brought up a lot of good points that I haven't even thought about. And so I think it would be important to have people put in their concerns and their suggestions so that, because just one person, you're not going to know every issue or be able to think of everything. So I think that's a big part of it. And also I'd want to go out and ask the freshmen or people why it's not, because I've heard too, like people haven't felt welcomed in here or they're intimidated by it. And I'd want to ask why, maybe what changes could be made, and just get more people involved in making it feel like a place where they can be.
Cool. Anything to add there?
No, I'm very satisfied with what's been said.
I have a couple other questions that I'm just like.
You're just making things up as you go now.
I kinda am. Thank you for calling me out.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna edit that out. Whatever. So I mean, Jasmine can probably attest to this. She's here. That the position does end up being kind of like a nanny / cleanup person / do what Josh says. / this like hybrid position that isn't necessarily in the position description. You've been in here probably where Jasmine or Cheyenne probably has been in here. It's like, hey guys, shut up, kind of thing. Was that something like you're ready for? Just because that is something that emerges. Are you aware of that? What would you do to battle kind of avoid that, you know what I mean? Or try to minimize that during your term? Like what kind of things would you put into practice that would help with that? Does that make sense? Like
How to prepare for the role of chief enforcer?
Or like
the big boss.
what would you do to not make that necessary?
Like not even having
an enforcer position?
Well,
or having a more
can you
gentle
articulate
person?
this for me? You know what I mean, Justin?
How would you deal with the backlash?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a lot of that.
You're saying like if there's a conflict, like being able to handle after people getting on you?
Kind of like that. See, the position that you would be put in is you're on the same level as everyone, but you still have to be able to be a person of authority. How would you handle that?
Okay.
Thanks, Jasmine.
That work?
I'm gonna put that in my voice.
Yes. Just deepen it up.
Yeah, but yeah, so basically that question. Thank you.
Okay, well, I know with my previous experience of being on committees, and I played competitive soccer for 10 years. I know about being on a team and working with people, and I know I'll probably be younger than a lot of the people in here too, which could be harder to enforce maybe or be respected by people. But I think if I just come at them respectable, and if they backlash, I know I can handle. I won't be torn apart by it, but I know that it is a position where I'd have to just be responsible and do what I have to do, and I'm willing to take that on.
I agree. This is a position of authority, and like Jasmine said, it's one where not only do you have to commingle with these people and stay on the same level, you also have to be this person, not quite a cut above, but someone who's got to actually be this person in charge to a certain extent. Fixing that is a bit of a more complicated issue. I'd say the first place to start would be to be making the lounge rules. There's one copy over there, and there's one copy over there. Those need to be more prominent. I know a lot of people who come in and talk about, I brought my friend up here, and so-and-so got annoyed, and I didn't even know it was I didn't even know I couldn't do that. People who can't, if you don't know the rules, it's hard to justify yelling at someone for breaking them. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. As for, when someone knows and decides to get confrontational, I dealt with a lot of that at previous jobs, and the answer I found is to just maintain politeness. There's no reason to start yelling. All that's going to happen is someone's going to get annoyed, upset, feelings hurt, and it's just not worth it in the long run. The correct response is to be polite and firm and say, listen, these are the rules. This is an area set up for us. You're disrespecting it by doing, action X, Y, Z, and I need you to stop. You need to stop for this reason. If they continue doing it, then a whole nother at that point that's a whole nother area of discussion. I think you get someone who willingly disobeys lounge rules for whatever reason. They don't like them. They think they're wrong. They just want to make fun of the honors committee and make our job the job a little more difficult. That's a whole nother can of worms, and that boils down to you need to start getting more people involved, perhaps going so far as to bringing up someone they view as an authority figure more than yourself. Perhaps getting Simpson involved would slap that down very quickly. Simpson is scary.
I'm not editing that out.
Please don't. Send that to Simpson. I believe that Dr. Simpson is a scary person.
Okay, all right, I got it. So you guys have both said something about wanting to rearrange, like kind of macro, like a level. What's the first thing you would rearrange, and how would you do it?
Well, the first thing I would rearrange, I'm not particularly upset with the furniture. I'm upset with kind of where things are, bulletin boards, that kind of thing, and I'd rearrange it by picking it up and putting it somewhere else.
So which bulletin board?
That one in particular bothers
Where
me.
would you put it?
I'd actually kind of like it right over there. We've got a big blank wall over there. If we decided not to, put pictures or something up there, as we were discussed for making the lounge a more open area, I would want it right there. That way, you've got two big places you can see honors announcement right when you walk in, right by the door, and then if you miss that, you've got another large sign right up in the middle that can be seen from pretty much anywhere in the lounge. That way, you also, regardless of what side of the lounge you're sitting on, if you're sitting over here and you can't see the bulletin board that would go up over there, you can see that one. If you're sitting over here and can't see it over there, you can see this one. The furniture, I'm not particularly annoyed with.
Cool. Just the one.
Okay.
The one thing. Yeah.
Okay, you just want one thing?
Singular-
The singular
item.
problem?
Yeah, Alex, singular item. Just the one item.
Okay. My concern mostly, I think, it's just presentation. This is a place where even guests come in and they like to see the honors program. So my thing would just, plain sight, make things where you can highlight the honors program, the info things, where it's just clear and open walls, not tucked in corners. The loose papers kind of around. It's just not presented in a professional way, where this is also our space where we're displaying the honors program. And I know there's meetings held in here, so my thing would just mainly be presentation, clean, nice, easy to see, easy to access, simple.
Cool. Good. Okay. So you guys have any final comments? Just like closing statements or whatever?
Vote for me.
Eric?
I'm satisfied.
Yeah,
He is satisfied.
we're satisfied.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much. You guys did your job.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.